What's going on, guys? This week we have the second leg of the Champions League, so let's go over some of my predictions. As you may know, Arsenal, Inter, Barcelona, and PSG won during the first leg, so let's see how the second leg will go and who will go through the semi-final. Anyway, we're gonna start with the Tuesday games. I'm not gonna go over Dortmund against Barcelona because I don't think there's nothing Dortmund can do at this point. So the second leg on Tuesday is gonna be Aston Villa against PSG. This is how both teams played last week. Something to note is that PSG didn't play this weekend, so they're all fresh. And in my opinion, they're gonna play most likely the same team, except for Beraldo. I think he's gonna get out, and Marquinhos gonna come in because he's able to play now. But everybody else, I think they're playing super good. Though with Dembele and Kvaratskhelia, they're able to play in any position, so they have a lot of rotations. And in my opinion, Ruiz, he's only able to play 60 minutes. That's the case with PSG. That's the case with Spain. After 60 minutes, he needs to be subbed either for Sarah Marie or Barcola or somebody. But anyway, that's the first team. For Aston Villa, in my opinion, Pau Torres is gonna come out and Mings is gonna be in starting 11. And also, in my opinion, I think that Watkins should start. I think Rashford should play here. Maybe Kamara should get out. McGinn come here. And Ramsey or Rogers play as number 10, but I think this is better team. I think they've done this in the past, so that's why I like this. Because you have to take advantage of the fact that Hakimi and Mendes, they go super high on the field. So if you put these guys here and this guy here, that's gonna be super dangerous. Plus they're down by 2-goal difference, so they really have to go for it. I mean, Asensio, he could come in the second half. He just missed 2 penalties during the weekend, so I'm pretty sure he wants to do something great. And Madsen and Disasi, they could play here instead of Digne or Cash like they did in the first leg. But I think it's gonna make a big difference, And honestly, if I think Tielemans against Neves, Ramsey against Vitinha, and McGinn against Reese, that's where Aston Villa should focus on their game time, because when Vitinha and Neves have the ball, they could create anything they want. So if you're able to avoid that, I think it's going to be a great match. Anyway, so for me, in this leg, I think PSG is going to win. I think 2 goals is a big difference. And because even if you're able to score 1 against PSG, with these 3 in the front, they're going to be able to score at least 1 against Dibu. Dibu's a great goalkeeper, but I think these guys are able to score great goals just like they did in the first leg. And then if we go over Wednesday's games, it's going to be Inter against Bayern Munich. In this game, Inter has the lead 2-1. And to me, if we go over Inter, 6 of these players didn't play over the weekend, or they just played 30 minutes or less. So Bastoni is going to be fresh. Acer is going to be fresh. Pavard is going to be fresh. Mkhitaryan is going to be fresh. Thuram is going to be fresh. And Darmian is going to be fresh. So I think they're going to start again. Although in my opinion, Augusto should get out. It's not because DiMarco is fresh now. He played over the weekend. He's fit. He's good to go. I think he's going to be in the starting 11. Pavard, I think he's going to start. I think, to me, well, this is up to it's your opinion if you want to play a Serbia or the Brick, but Serbia sometimes he's a little older and he does sometimes some mistakes, so I will probably start the Brick, but that's just my opinion. Now we will go over Bayern Munich. They play against Borussia Dortmund this weekend, so the only sub that they did was Müller instead of Guerreiro, but it was the same team that played Inter pretty much. So in my opinion, for this game, I think their starting 11 is going to be this one with starting Guerreiro, because that's the best team they have, and they have so many injuries that 4 of their starting 11 players are not even able to play. So, I think that Gnabry is coming in after seeing him over the weekend. I think he could start. I'm not a big fan of Alisa, so probably just making him play like a first half or something. I would put Gnabry here and Sana here. Guerreiro did pretty well in that position. Obviously, it's not Musiala, but then we could also put Koman in the second half, trying to have some impact. Pavlovic also came back from injury. Müller is there, so maybe for the second half you can put him there. But Inter's been playing the same formation for a couple years now with Inzaghi, and these midfielders are able to play in any position. That's what's surprising to me. Like, they rotate a lot, and even Lautaro drops or Turan drops and helps them out in the midfield. So their biggest strength to me is the midfield, because these guys drop and they have a back five, so it's really hard to stop them. And and I don't think Bayern Munich is gonna be able to overtake them. I think Inter's gonna go through on this one. All right, so then last match of Wednesday is gonna be Real Madrid against Arsenal. This past weekend, Real Madrid they made 4 subs. So Alaba didn't play, Bellingham didn't play, Vinicius didn't play, and Modric didn't play. Well, some of them just played like 30 minutes or so. And Mbappe had a red card on the 30 minutes, so he also only played 30 minutes. Some of these guys are gonna be fresh, I guess. In my opinion, they shouldn't play a 4-4-2 like they did in the first leg. They should go back to the 4-3-3, or play a 4-2-3-1, I should say. I think they should do something like this. I think Valverde, he should be here. Another thing to mention is that Camavinga got a red card in the first leg, so I think Kompany is gonna be here. I think that if you put I think Modric is gonna be on the bench. If you put Vasquez here and Alaba, you make Alaba start. Kompany is gonna be able to help him, and Valverde is fast enough and strong enough to help Vasquez and also help in the attack. So to me, this is how Real Madrid should play, because they've done it in the past. It's obviously when Vinicius doesn't drop to help in the defense, Bellingham is able to do so. So it does turn into 4-4-2. But in my opinion, the key is the fact that Valverde should help him out and Kompany should help this side. Because Arsenal, on the other hand, this past weekend, they rested 5 players. So Saka is going to be fresh, Odegaard is going to be fresh. Timber, he got injured, he played a couple minutes. And they also rested Marino and Lewis Kelly. So, and Partey, he is a little bit doubtful because maybe he got injured or not. We don't know. Maybe Jorginho can play there. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. But my point is that these guys, Arsenal, their midfielders, they also move a lot. Like, I've seen them play all kinds of way, like a box. They look partly here, and these guys move around. Marino is a false 9. He drops a lot. He goes to the sides. So if you don't control that with the midfield, and that's why I want Kompany and Valverde there, you're gonna lose that match, because they're play well with the ball, but they're really good at defending. If you remember at the beginning of the season, Arsenal had this game against City when they got a red card at the Etihad, and Arsenal defended for more than 60 minutes, and they have 10 men in the box, and they were able to get the result. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something similar today, if they're down in the result. Anyway, so obviously I don't see any big names except for Modric that can come in and change the game for Real Madrid. But we'll see what happens. On the other hand, for Arsenal, I think maybe Trossard and Jorginho might come in. Trossard for Martinelli, that's what always happens, and Jorginho for Partey if he doesn't feel well. But in my opinion, this is going to be a game for Arsenal. I don't think Real Madrid is going to be able to overtake the 3-0. I don't think it's so much about the score. I think Real Madrid could score more than 3 goals. They've done that in the past. But I think it's more about how they played. Even at the Bernabeu, they haven't been playing well this season, so I don't think it's going to be easy for them. Anyway, so this is my prediction. I think it's going to be Arsenal against PSG for the semi-final, and Barcelona against Inter. Please let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Thanks.